Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are currently working on our orbit of Eve, and at this moment we are almost ready for our transfer over to Eve. We've already done the warp and we're ready to burn in 30 seconds. So let's warp forward a little further. 20, 10, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and mark. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit long of a burn. We'll accelerate that just a wee bit, and off we go to Eve. Fantastic. 500 meters per second left in the burn here. Everything is looking reasonable. Okay, I'm going to take us out of physics warp here and just make a small adjustment to our heading. And we may have to make additional adjustments to this, because we want to hit this burn quite precisely. Like, we want to go exactly where we're pointing to, right? We do not want to go a little bit lower. That would be very bad. That'd be very, very bad indeed. So let's just get this burn done here. 30 meters per second to go. Okay, is this good enough? This is near Kerbin. Let's focus on Eve. What do we got? I believe, yeah, we want to get in a little closer here. Let's go to retrograde, and let's bring that right on in. We're aiming for like 150 kilometers, if I recall correctly. Let's thrust limit this down to like 0.5%. Cool. 150. That'll do. So, of course, next we're going to be warping on over here, but we'll add a quick maneuver here, circularize that orbit. We're not going to be doing anything at Gilly at this moment. We have no contract to do that, and I do not want to mess up the generation of our exploration contracts, so we're not going to be touching Gilly at this moment. Cool. So now we need to get very slowly rotated over here. This is going to be a little bit tedious. Luckily, we can physics warp it. Overshot slightly, but it's not too bad. Okay. Let's commence the warp. About 150 days, slightly below my inserting a cut threshold. So that'll be okay. Where is Eve at this point? It should be like somewhere over here-ish. I have not seen it just yet, but I may be looking in entirely the wrong direction. We may be coming in on it this way. I have no idea. I should probably look at that if I want to actually see it coming in. But we'll probably just be surprised by it. It should be very close now. Not this direction. It should not be this direction. There it is. Hello, Eve. Fantastic. A little bit late in seeing it there, but that's fine. Okay, so we've already got all of this in-space high stuff, right? Oh, this is going to be a one-day burn. We should increase our thrust limiter there, and we'll continue to warp for another 4 hours or so. Beautiful. So we're going to get some in-space low science here quite soon. We are going to be burning out this entire tank on this burn. And we're going to be starting to burn some of this now that we've arrived. So that's fine. I am right in remembering that this is 90, right? I hope I'm right in that. This is not actually what I'm looking for. I think we need to go in here. Atmospheric height 90 kilometers. Okay, yes. Beautiful. So that's fine. We're going to commence this burn in about 40 seconds. I'm going to adjust our heading very, very slightly here. There we go. And let's warp forward a little bit further. Yes, we have all these in-space nears, and we'll get those in just a moment. 3, 2, 1, and mark. Commencing burn. And it's going to be a kind of lengthy burn. We'll grab our crew report, temperature scan, atmospheric pressure scan, mystery goo observation, material study, and our magnetometer report while we're performing this burn, and we'll get some of these dealt with shortly. Cool. So let's physics warp forward and get this burn a little bit quicker. It's going to be a lengthy one. These nuclear engines are very efficient, but what they are not is speedy. They are not speedy. So we're going to be burned out here in about 30 seconds of burn time. Okay. 10 seconds. And we're burned out. So off we go, and we're now on this. Fantastic. We'll position here. We've got about 200 meters per second to burn here. We've got so much delta V left. It is fine. This thing is pretty wild overkill. We'll retract our boom. There we go. And let's continue our physics warp. We are drawing from here, correct? Correct. So it's the outer tanks at this point. And we're almost done with our braking burn here. 40 meters per second to go. 30. 20. 10. This is close enough. Okay. We see that periapsis dropping down a little bit. That's just due to our lengthy burn there. This is more than good enough. So, at this point, we've got some science to work on. As I almost press the space bar instead of the M button, that would have been problematic. Losing that much fuel would definitely be an issue at this point. I don't think we could get back on 942 meters per second. So let's not do that. Thank you very much. At this point, we do definitely want to grab our EVA report. So we are going to have Luke EVA. We'll grab our EVA report. And we're going to come on over this direction. We, of course, need to do our resets. So we're going to open our service bay. Oh, we have another EVA report we can grab here. Okay, sure. We're going to collect this data from here. We should have collected it before, but I guess this is fine. We'll restore all of this. We need to hop in here because we need to hop back out. But let's collect that data real quick. Okay. Luke, hop out, and we'll grab that EVA report, and we'll hop back in, just in case that happens again. And then we'll EVA. Hey, look, shallows. Okay, now we'll hop back in, and then Luke will EVA yet again. Luke has so many EVAs he's performing here. Okay, so we're going to head off over this direction. We're going to grab our mystery goo. We're going to conduct our materials study. We'll keep both of those, collect that data and restore, collect the data and restore. And then we'll observe it again and conduct the material study. Beautiful. Those get stored there. We're not going to retract that solar panel right now. We will close these doors. Okay. I don't want to take out that solar panel if I can help it, so we'll just head on over this direction. Cool. We'll grab a board, or rather we'll hop aboard, if I can. There we go. Beautiful. So now we want to head over to, like, prograde. We're not leaving just yet, though. So, there we go. Now I'm going to add a maneuver here, mostly as a timer. And we're going to warp our way on around. So I do want to stop time warp. We missed one there. Okay, that's Midlands. We'll grab that. There we go. We got the Midlands. Beautiful. That was Highlands. That was a very, very brief Highlands. That's Eastern Sea. We'll grab that and hop back in. We should get Highlands somewhere around here as we go around, I think. Eastern Sea will be a big one, though. No doubt about that. Yeah, that's quite a lot. But there's Highlands. Beautiful. So now we don't have to go around a second time. Now that we know for a fact that we got that Highlands. What else do we have here? Well, we're still warping around. That's a lot of Highlands. About 22 minutes here. There's the Western Sea. So we'll grab that. What else do we have? And yes, we could change our inclination and grab additional data. But to be honest, I'm quite content with the data that we have right now. We bring this back and we'll be more than fine in terms of science. So Midlands is looking good. No problem here. 18 more minutes in our warp. That's Lowlands. Let's take this up to 50x. That's Peaks. Beautiful. What else do we have? Foothills. Grab it. What else do we have? Explodium C. Do it. We have so much data at this point. Keep in mind, each of these are worth over 50 data. We have a lot of data here. No doubt about that. We've got about 5 minutes left on our timer. Impact ejecta. Beautiful. Yeah, 56 each. That's insane. Okay, let's grab this last little bit of area here. Now, it is possible that due to our inclination here and the planet spinning underneath us, that we would get more on this same trajectory. I'm not going to bother with it. We're just going to be leaving here, and we need to figure out when we want to do this, right? So for now, I'm going to check in sometime over here, which is basically burning towards the sun, and we'll see what that throws us out at. That's actually approximately correct. If Kerbin was our target, where would that actually put us? Fascinating. We could just stay here in orbit for like a really, really long time and do, you know, something like this. I don't think it's a great idea. It is theoretically possible. The other thing that we can do is just make it easier on ourselves. And the way that we would go about doing that is by not doing this. Let's just get rid of this maneuver for right now. We know that this maneuver is actually pretty good, right? So we would just do something like this. We'd be looking to raise up our orbit to be approximately halfway between here and Kerbin. About like that. No, this is Kerbin. We'd be looking to have it be around here. Then we'd circularize that at the apoapsis, change our inclination, and then go for the intercept. That's the easy way to do it. It's not the efficient way to do it, and this is fine. This is good enough. We've got more than enough delta V to do this. No problem. So, we're going to position ourselves for this. Also, I just saw my lights flickering. That's exciting. I'm going to quick save here just in case something happens. In theory, we shouldn't have the video get corrupted if the power goes out. So, we'll see. I think we are expecting some thunderstorms today, so that could be exciting. Hopefully that doesn't happen in the next, 15 minutes. So we're going to prepare for this burn. 5 more minutes. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Excellent. 50 seconds. 40, 30, 20, 10, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we're out of here. Fantastic. So this is going to be a pretty lengthy burn, right? No doubt about that. We're going to be burning most of the tank, or most of the fuel in our side tanks here. We're going to physics warp this burn. And we're keeping an eye on our maneuver marker here, since Valentina's not skilled enough to lock to the maneuver node as of right now. But we've still got about 4 minutes left on this burn. 3.5. 3:15. 3 minutes. Excellent. About 800 more meters per second. We are out of here. We can see that we're still technically in orbit over Eve at this moment. I'm going to take us out of physics warp because we are drifting off of our node a little bit. So we'll just fix our heading there, and back into physics warp we go. That did pick us up a small oscillation. For the time being, I'm not too worried about it. It should be okay. About a minute and a half, actually like a minute and 10 seconds left on this burn. 300 meters per second to go. Okay. About 30 seconds. Let's adjust our heading slightly. 100 meters per second to go. Coming fully out of the physics warp. We're not going back in. We are now in escape velocity from Eve. 30 meters per second to go. 20. 10. And we'll probably call this good enough. Yeah, this is more than good enough. We don't have to be super accurate with this particular burn. So that's fine. at the apoapsis here, or maybe at the ascending node. Which happens first? 154 days, 180 days. So the ascending node is, we're going to want to do our inclination change first. Okay, so we're going to head in over here, and we are going to go this direction. 2.5 degrees. We'll change that inclination. Beautiful. We'll get into position for that burn. It'll be just off a little bit over here. That's definitely a thundercrack that I just heard. Okay, exciting. Okay, so let's warp our way through here, and we're just going to make our way back. Once again, I'm going to quick save in case the power goes out here. Hopefully it does not. 80 days. 60. Beautiful. So this is going to be a 400 meter per second burn. We've got more than enough to get back home. No concerns there. There we go. Time warp is complete, and we will commence our inclination change in about 50 seconds. Beautiful. We can definitely warp forward a little further. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted right now. It's been really, really dry here, and so I'm kind of excited about a storm coming through. We could really use the rain. There's no doubt about that. So I'm a little distracted at the moment, but we are certainly going to get this inclination change done. 250 meters per second to go there. Beautiful. 150. 75. Coming out of the physics warp. Okay, we'll call that good enough. That should be more than close enough. Absolutely it is. So at the apoapsis, what happens if we look to do a intercept here? Okay, that's kind of terrible. So instead, we're going to circularize. And we'll look for a different maneuver to bring us back. Okay, that's only a 27-day time warp. And that's another 467.1. We're still going to have a little bit of fuel left in these tanks. So that looks good. Ooh, this is warping slowly. I'm going to actually cancel that warp for the time being and position us for that actual burn. It's so much easier to turn this thing now. And I guess I'll manually warp us. Yeah, I'll manually warp it for the time being. Until we're just a little bit closer here. Cool. Okay, now we'll auto-warp it. Now that we're okay with it being a little bit slower, because we're much, much closer. 1 hour until this burn. This is going to be burning out nearly all of the fuel in our drop tanks, so that's fine. 20 seconds until our burn. 3, 2, 1, and mark. Cool. So this is going to be about another 1 minute burn. We'll just warp our way on through this. 50 seconds. Wonderful. 200 meters per second to go. We'll have slightly more fuel left in these tanks, but it's not going to be much at all. Okay, we'll come out of the physics warp here with 10 seconds left in the burn. I'm just adjusting our heading ever so slightly here. Not that it's all that important for this particular burn. This is good enough. And from here, we're just going to look for an intercept with Kerbin. So, what do we got here? That timing is horrific. I'm not shocked about that. We're probably going to need to wait an orbit or two. That did not actually add an orbit to it. Okay. Can I please not have all of this nonsense pinned open? Thank you. I don't actually care about that. I want to add an orbit. 2 orbits. Okay. That is going to be a little bit lengthy. Not great timing as far as our return window goes. I'm not going to lie about that. But sure, that looks reasonably fine. Now we appear to be stuck in this mode. There, that fixed it. Cool. That was a little strange, but whatever. Let's focus on Kerbin and let's see what that's going to look like. That's actually a pretty good return trajectory right there. It does need to be dialed in a little bit. Maybe a bit of a radial change here. And maybe a wee bit of normal. But probably more than anything, it's a timing thing. Yeah, 70 kilometers there. Let's dial that in ever so slightly. 40 is good enough. Okay, so this looks good. This is going to be in a little while. I'm going to quick save here, and we're going to warp this for a bit. I will be back here in just a moment. I'm going to cut this out, and hopefully the power doesn't go out on us while we're doing this. See you guys in a moment. Okay, here we are about 20 minutes later. To be clear, it didn't take that long to warp this far. I had it paused for some of that. But we're here about 20 minutes later. The storm has mostly died out for now. It might kick back up according to the forecast, but things seem to be working pretty well at this moment. So we're going to start up our burn here in about 50 seconds. Let's warp on forward. 30 seconds, 20, 10, and 3, 2, 1, mark. So we're going to burn this last few Delta V out here, and now we ditch our drop tanks. Those are completely empty, so that's great. We ditch those, and we're just going to come on in as close as, well, not really as close as we can to Kerbin. We're going to come pretty close to Kerbin. Close enough to get captured is the idea. We'll tune this in with a radial retrograde burn, but it's not going to be anywhere near as extensive as many of our radial retrograde burns in the past have been. This is going to be a much more tame radial retrograde. I want to throw that out there. We're going to be relying primarily on our heat shield here this time. So that'll be fine. This antenna can be retracted. We definitely are going to want to do that when we get in a little bit closer. We're not quite there yet, and I'm just angling us a wee bit here to follow that marker. 1.1 meters per second. Let's see what that actually looks like. That might be a lot. 92? Okay. We definitely need to bring that on down. We've overshot it, looks like, so we need to flip around to retrograde. Cool. So somewhere around here, we'll bring that down to about 40 kilometers as it was before. Okay. Now we're going to look for that radial retrograde burn sometime around here. We want to make sure that the full radial retro... Okay, that's already more than we can do. Cool. So, with that in mind, we need to back this off a little bit. We're going to have to do quite a lot of aerobraking. Looks like it's going to be a pure retrograde burn here. That's fine. This captures us and ensures that even if we need multiple aerobrake passes, we will definitely be landing. So that's okay. We'll position for that. And we will warp on in. Cool. I want to think about the timing here, actually. What is our periapsis here? 30 kilometers? I want that to be closer to 20. So about there, as far as that timing goes. Cool. We'll reposition, and let's warp. We've got about 140 days until we get back. This is absolutely fine. Where is Kerbin at this point? It should be, like, somewhere out over here, I believe. Don't see it at this juncture. But I think that's the correct direction. Yeah, it should be around in here. But that said, our trajectory will be a little bit arced. I'm probably looking the wrong way. I'm definitely looking the wrong way. We've got 6 days here. Yeah, it's around somewhere. Was that it? Okay, we're loading into something. Hi, Kerbin. You were below us, and you snuck up on us. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to burn out all of our remaining fuel on this burn. This is going to be a pure retrograde burn. 3, 2, 1, and mark. So we're just looking to slow down a little bit before we hit the atmosphere. And I want to burn off all of this fuel. We're going to retract our solar panels at this time. We're going to be hitting the atmosphere relatively soon. So we want to retract that. We want to retract our antenna as well. Cool. And yeah, I want this to be pure retrograde at this moment. So we're coming in at a kind of blistering, not tremendously blistering, but a slightly blistering 3 kilometers per second. We've definitely had faster re-entries than this, but this'll do. This will certainly do. So we're officially flying high right now. We could grab an atmospheric analysis here, and we may as well, actually. I think there's no reason not to. We'll collect that data from there. We could grab it again, but I don't think there's a reason to do that. Okay, we're continuing to slow down here. We've got about 50 meters per second left here. And that's gone. Excellent. I'm a little bit surprised that our drag here isn't separating us. That's definitely slightly surprising. We might have some of these, like our magnetometer, burn off here. We're definitely coming in fast. I did expect that this would have less drag than our heat shield, to be honest. I definitely expected that. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what burned off there. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. We're currently moving pretty quickly. Very quickly. I'd like to slow down a lot more than this. This is, I think, really messing us up. I really expected this to have less drag. Huh. That's intriguing. I guess maybe the cone here is modeled. I don't know what that would actually do aerodynamically, but I do expect that some of our bulbous side portions are going to burn off here. That's fine. It's not a big concern. We're already down to 1.8 meters or kilometers per second, actually, so this is fine. Like, we're not moving too quickly at this point. We're completely okay. But I definitely expected this to have less drag than our re-entry module plus heat shield here. I suppose our heat shield might be blocked by this. I don't know. It's fine. We're not having a problem. We're under a kilometer per second as of now, so it's all good. I'm going to try to rotate us to shake free of this nonsense. It's not very successful. We're just going to get our chutes out. We're still... Is this actually connected here? I thought for sure once the chutes came out. I don't know. Maybe this latched on with physics somehow. It's like connected here. Let's open the service bay and see what happens. Oh, this is considered... I see. That's what happened. That's considered part of that. It's not attached actually to here. Okay, that's exciting. Good thing we grabbed the data out of it. Not actually a big deal. It's completely fine. So that's now detached. Looks like we might be thinking about coming down on some mountains here. That's very exciting. But it should be okay. Let's physics warp our way on down here. There's not a lot of mass here. There's the drogues deploying. We might have some rolling going on here. We'll see. It'll be interesting with this antenna here. Might destroy the antenna, but that's fine. Not a big deal. The things that need to survive, of course, at this point are this and this. Everything else is technically expendable. We would like to keep around this guy and this guy, but we don't have to, technically. But it'll be fine. No problem whatsoever here. I'm definitely a little bit surprised that we had a connection there through the heat shield. That's very strange to me. We're going to unphysics warp this, and we'll see how much rolling we end up doing. I guess we can grab a seismic scan, and we appear to be stable here. Cool. I don't think we'll grab our Mr. Goo observation or our materials study here, since we have some of those from Eve. Let's just recover this vessel and see what we've got. This should be quite a hefty amount of science. Not maybe as much as landing would be, but a hefty amount of silence. A hefty amount of science, nevertheless. We should also get promotions for every Kerbal that was along on this, so that's magnificent. Once they get up to level 3, I kind of don't care about higher levels. Level 3 is kind of the breakpoint for me, so that's great. Very, very pleased about that. Yeah, 1,500 science out of that. Nice. And of course, that is our contract complete. Beautiful. So what else do we have for exploration contracts? Transfer crew between vessels near Minmus. Okay, that's not very exciting. But I guess we'll accept that, and we'll get to some viewer contracts in the next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, Mlohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Andy Magar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.